This morning I attended the scene at Old Chapel, Lower Manorclough. There was a fire, Rachel said, interrupting without thinking. Last night. There was indeed. The boss went on after a short pause. Reported on the local news. No, Rachel said, wanting to set the record straight. I saw it. I was there. Janet, on the other side of the conference table, raised her eyebrows at Rachel, either querying why she'd been there or warning her about butting in when the DCI was speaking. That's how I know. Rachel tailed off. Glad we've cleared that up, the boss said smartly. What you won't know is that our victim, male, Caucasian, identity unknown, was inside the building and initial evidence suggests he was shot, twice, then doused with accelerant and set alight. I must warn you the photographs are not particularly pleasant and are not required viewing. Avoid looking at them if you wish. Garvey found no soot inside what remained of lung tissue, which suggests the victim was already dead when the fire started. The photographs were projected onto the large screen. Kevin Lum, on Rachel's right, reared back. Whoa, he said. Barbecued or what? What a knob. Kevin, dim though he was, realised he'd spoken out of turn when stony silence greeted his adolescent comment. Shock, innit? He said weakly. It wasn't enough. DC Lum, the boss said. No iron in her voice as yet, but Rachel could tell it was coming. Our role as members of a major incident team is to represent the interests of victims of serious crime and attempt, to the best of our ability, to determine who perpetrated said crime. To make every effort to see a suspect apprehended, charged, and God and the jury willing, convicted of that crime. And we carry out that role with professionalism, affording every victim the respect and dignity that any one of us might expect if it was one of our own in the mortuary. So just close your gob and put your brain in gear. Got it? Pete Readymuff, to Rachel's left, put down his breakfast butty and wiped his fingers on a tissue. Put off by the photo, she imagined. Pete could do with skipping a few meals, Rachel thought. He could probably survive several weeks on his reserves of body fat. Sorry, ma'am, Kevin said. He gave Rachel a sideways, shamefaced look, as though he expected her to feel sorry for him. Ever since Sean had chosen Kevin as best man, fuck knows why, he barely knew the guy, Kevin had acted like he was one of the family, chumming up to Rachel, oblivious to her put-downs, thinking she was joking when she told him to do one. Like his mind couldn't really compute a universe where he wasn't at its centre, loved by one and all. She might feel sorry for him if he had the nous to learn from his mistakes, but he just repeated them. The boss resumed. Our priority is to establish identity. Who is this man? Once that's clear, we may be able to establish who had reason to want to kill him. Could he have been killed elsewhere and dumped there? Mitch asked. It's possible, the boss answered. Any sign of how they got in? Rachel said. The place was boarded up, wasn't it? No answers yet, the boss said. Find out who the current owner is, talk to them, any history of break-ins and so on. CSI and fire investigation still ongoing, could be some time. What we do have is a gold wedding ring recovered from our victim inscribed RK and JS 23472. 40 years, said Pete. To that end, Kevin, her Madge's beady eyes bored into Kevin's head, start a trawl of the marriage records, beginning locally, that day and those initials. Narrows it down, Lee said dryly. I know, the boss agreed. Without an ID, motive is likewise obscure, but perhaps Kevin will be able to help us with the name and next of kin and we can trace the widow. Rachel, Janet, Lee and Mitch, house to house in the area. Janet, you're still acting sergeant, you coordinate it. Godzilla instructed. Did anyone see any activity at the chapel on Wednesday? I'll be meeting with the area intelligence manager. Use of a firearm, said Mitch. Ex-army was Mitch, good on hardware. That size, we're talking a small handgun. Mitch pointed to the magnified image of the 2 bullets that had been taken.